Welcome to Swing State University, a college golf and lifestyle podcast. I'm your host, James Boone. Joining us this week from the Samford University sophomore, Gavin Isbell. This episode of Swing State University is brought to you by 2-Putt Coffee. Success on the course starts with a solid routine, and 2-Putt Coffee is the fuel that keeps golfers focused and relaxed. Collegiate golfers interested in 2-Putt's newly launched ambassador program that includes exclusive product discounts, social media exposure, brand collaborations, and more can email hello@2puttcoffee.com with the subject line College Ambassador to find out more. And as a token of appreciation, Swing State University listeners can take 30% off their next order through 2puttcoffee.com using the code SwingStateU. That's Swing State and the letter U for 30% off any order of grade 1 single origin coffee and merch. Play relaxed and focus on what counts with 2-Putt Coffee. Welcome in. First show of the spring season. Obviously, we had a coffee break there for a while, getting to celebrate some of our favorite brands in golf and coffee, but we're back. And I just want to start by telling a little story, maybe just giving an inkling of what I did this past weekend. It is, we're recording, it's around 8:00 p.m., February 2nd, 2026. This past weekend, I had the privilege. We live in Memphis, Tennessee. We have some good friends, the Longos. Shout out to Addison and Logan. They invited us over to watch, not a playoff football game. No, they didn't invite us to watch, the opening ceremony for the Winter Olympics. No, that wasn't going on. They invited us, Caroline and I, over to watch step sing this weekend. Obviously, my wife's, Samford alum, the Longos, Addison, Samford alum, some former Coyotes in the house. And so they invited us over to watch step sing, and we got to watch. And so for those who are listening right now and have no idea what I'm talking about, just try to keep up as best as you possibly can. I won't even give a description at this point, but before I even continue, I want to shout out Whit Grooms, Daniel Giles, some of the PyCap bros for winning step sing this year. So shout out. But I'll also say that's not why we're hopping on the show tonight. And I'll also make an argument that some people would say this is the biggest thing that happens on Samford's campus in the spring. My argument is to say, hey, there's actually something bigger going on right now, and it's taking place in the form of Samford men's golf. And I'll say that that's been happening because of our guest today. First guest of the spring season, Gavin Isbell, sophomore from Samford University. Gavin, thank you so much for hopping on the show, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited.
Did you watch step sing this year?
I watched a few of them in my apartment. Our group chat was going a little bit crazy over it, but we probably won't get into what was said. And our group chat was getting a little bit of a kick out of some of them, so I turned it on for watched a few of them. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to pay the 50 or whatever, much money it was to go. It's kind of not my thing.
So talk of the town, talk on campus, and they stream it for free. It's just like the Masters. They stream it for free.
Yeah,
you can watch it from the comfort of your home.
That's right.
It was funny. So maybe you guys know this, maybe you guys don't know this, but I went to Samford for about 20 minutes. And the year that I was there, they actually had an athlete show. And I think it mainly consisted of football players, soccer players, some track. I don't think any golfers partook. Do you think if they had an athlete show, do you think you would, that's probably not your speed?
Yeah, probably not for me, but power to everyone else who it is, whose power it is to, go for it. Just probably not for me.
For sure. Hey, so we're joined here with Gavin Isbell, sophomore from Samford University. Gavin has had a sick run at Samford. He's been there for a year and a half at this point. Obviously, freshman year, scoring average 74. Came into this fall and really balled out. If you just go through his list of events that he was able to play in and play well in, finished top 10, 4 out of 5 events that he played in this fall, 10th at the Bryan National, 17th at the GMAC, Carolina Cup hosted by USC Upstate 8. North Alabama hosted a tournament at a really sick course at the Turtle Point Yacht Club. Came in 4th this year and then finished the fall season. Panther National at Florida Atlantic's tournament. Finished the fall finishing 2nd out of a field of 88. Scoring average down to 70. Had a really sick fall. And we're stoked to hear a little bit about his story, a little bit about his journey, things that he's excited about heading into the spring and then the next 2.5 years of his college journey. But Gavin, I'm going to kick it over to you. I would love to hear a little bit about origin stories. How did you get into golf in the first place? Who are some some influences on your life? Would love to hear about that.
Yeah, I grew up not playing golf. I played baseball till I was in 6th grade, and then got to 6th grade and kind of was just tired of baseball. My coaches weren't the greatest, in my opinion, but I mean, I was 12 years old, so I mean, didn't like to run at practice. But
Indian runs.
it just wasn't that much fun for me anymore. So I finally, my dad played a little bit of golf. I mean, not crazy amounts, but as much as he could. And we went to the Top Golf in Birmingham, like right when it opened. And my sister actually got the bug a little bit before me, kind of while I was still playing baseball. I was like, yeah, the whole golf thing is just kind of stupid. Golf's so boring and stuff. So then eventually I succumbed to the golf bug, got the bug and started playing. And my sister quit, didn't stick it out for sis, but just started playing a lot. So actually, it was funny. I was playing golf, always wanted to play golf in my last season of baseball. So I would be like practicing on the cage, like finishing on my front foot, like golf swing, and my coach would get mad at me because
Great for baseball swing.
I'm swinging,
Yeah, great.
exactly.
Great.
I'm swinging a baseball bat like a golf club. But I mean, played golf. I made our middle school team in 7th grade. Played my first a few events. Got 90 in my first golf tournament. Never forget that. First ever golf tournament. It was a time down at Old Indian Pines in Auburn. I still have the golf ball. And then 8th grade was COVID. Shut everything down. No golf tournaments, no middle school golf. And then really during COVID was when I started actually taking it seriously, really practicing. Like I kind of was telling you off camera earlier. A little bit of my story was just kind of the isolation of losing a lot of friends after baseball. Just kind of found myself in an isolated spot. And then we went into a pandemic, which was even more isolation, and I really just took that opportunity. And I mean, I would say now that it was me coping with that isolation. In my head at the time, it was me kind of quote unquote grinding to get a lot better. But I was there every day, did my schoolwork in the morning, went out to the golf course for the rest of the day. And that was when I took a little bit of a leap forward, started playing some more tournaments. And then in high school, played high school golf, made our travel squad in my freshman year of high school. We had a good team our freshman year. We made it to state, and then had a little bit of a heartbreaker at state with some bad weather my freshman year. But ended up playing golf, just sticking it out, just keep grinding, and got to the whole recruiting process and had no clue what I was doing. There's no real roadmap for college golf, for recruiting, so just kind of figuring it out as we go. Me and my dad trying to figure it out, and it ended up the Lord blessed me with an opportunity, and just an opportunity I couldn't have passed up. And now I'm here at Samford, and I praise God every day that He's brought me to this spot in this place.
Yeah. Can you talk about at what point? I guess obviously the point was around COVID for you to be like, I don't want to play baseball anymore. And like you and I both know, like a high school baseball team, middle school baseball team,
Yeah,
probably not the most
right.
mature like guys
Yeah,
in the whole world. It's
right.
like, oh, you're gonna go, quit baseball on us. Like we're gonna isolate you.
Yeah,
Like I
right.
could see that happening. And then also there's
Yeah,
probably taking solace in the game because
right.
obviously it is isolating at times, but at the same time, like going and beating buckets of balls, like that's actually really therapeutic. So that's like two-sided. There's these things that are happening, and then it caused you to start wanting to work on your game and wanting to take strides and improve. And you talked about your dad being in the process of saying, "Oh, Gavin, like let's take this as far as we can." At what point were you like, okay, like I'm actually good enough to want to play in college? How old
Yeah.
were you at that point?
I mean, going in high school, I was never really the greatest junior golfer. Like, I didn't start really playing till I was 13. And I was never a guy who was going to go out and shoot 65, 65 and win this junior tournament by 10 shots. I mean, I was just kind of like middle of the pack, just kind of playing my way. If I had a good round, then I'll shoot a couple under par. I would say it was really my junior year of high school. Going into my junior year of high school, I really kind of developed my game, I would say, is into not necessarily just going out and playing, but into actually like thinking about what I was doing every single time I tee it up and actually trying to have an objective every time I tee it up. And I mean, I had a really good high school season, my junior year of high school. I won like 3 or 4 times in that season and had a few good rounds. Like, I think I shot 65. That was my lowest. That's still my lowest. I've shot it a couple times, but junior of high school, I shot 65 once, and then a couple other tournaments in the mid 60s. And I was kind of like, I knew I wanted to play golf in college, but that was when me and my dad both sat down and we're like, yeah, this is something we can actually pursue. But, and I talk about my dad a lot, but my mom was there just as much. I mean, she wasn't helping me email coaches and looking at scoring averages and stuff, but I mean, she's my biggest cheerleader. So it means the world to have her in my corner everywhere I go.
Absolutely. Shout out to moms.
Shout out,
Shout
mom.
out. you kinda talked about your process of, you and your dad game planning of, Here's some schools that we should reach out to." Was that what it looked like for you? And,
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot
connecting
of
with schools?
just
Yeah.
blind sending emails. I mean, we sat down. I remember vividly one night we sat in my mom's office with her computer and had on one tab we had a school's website and another tab we had Gmail open, and we were just sitting there for a couple hours sending emails to every coach we could find their email. But yeah, I mean that was kind of what we were told to do. I remember a lot of sending emails, a lot of rejections, but a lot of emails sent.
What point were you able to get in contact with Coach Del Greco at Samford? At what point did that you start making headway in that direction?
Okay, yeah. So this is actually more. It was also a God story with this.
Mm,
So
mhm.
I played we had a tournament in high school called the Patriot Open down in Tuscaloosa at North River, and so my high school played in it, and then Nolan Wolf, who's on our team, his high school also played in it, and so we were paired with Athens, his high school, but our roster had gotten flipped. So I was playing the 5 bag and Nolan was playing the 1 bag, and Nolan was already committed to Samford. So I'd already kind of reached out to coach, like talked back and forth, never really like nothing crazy, but he said he wanted to watch me, but never really did or anything. So we get to this tournament. I'm supposed to be playing with their 5 bag, and then we get it switched back. So I'm playing with Nolan finally, and just to make it right. And especially, we really wanted that because we knew Coach Del Greco was going to be there to watch. Kind of really wanted to make that happen. It was pretty crazy. Like the first hole he watched me on is number 10 at North River. It's a little downhill dogleg left par 5. Made an eagle. First time coach ever watched me. So that was pretty cool. My mom was over and she I didn't know then, but she told me now she went over in the woods and started crying because she knew what I was supposed to do, where I was supposed to go to college. It was
Wow.
pretty cool story
Yeah.
there.
Well, and it almost never happened.
Exactly, and that's the crazy part.
Yeah, were you kinda freaking out and being like, "Oh, shoot, like, this was my one opportunity to play in front of them, and
You
now
know,
it's." Yeah.
honestly, I didn't really know the significance of it until after
Mhm.
because it was more of the thing where like, oh yeah, I get to play in front of a college coach. Like it was about like now I understand that like oh crap, this probably could have been the thing that got me kind of in the door almost. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty cool story to hear afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. And it may have been the Lord sparing you some of that anxiety and kinda giving you
Right.
the peace to be like, "No, I'm just gonna go do
Yeah.
this thing
Exactly. And
that."
just go
Yeah.
play. Just go do the thing that I do. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Obviously, that tournament, that season, it started to be clear of like, "Hey, like, Sanford is where I need to end up." You commit, you end up there your freshman year. Can you talk about your adjustment from playing in high school in Trussville, moving down the street just a little bit, I guess it's
Yeah.
south, right? Just a little bit south?
East.
East? Okay.
Southeast? I don't really know. My geography not that good. But
But, nonetheless, you move from Trussville down to Homewood, you start playing at Sanford. What can you describe that transition?
yeah, I mean obviously I'm moving down the street. I'm probably closer to a lot of the things that I was already going to, closer to my home course, closer to downtown Birmingham where I was going a lot, closer to a lot of my friends' houses, but it's just different to move out of your own house. Like you're not sleeping in the same bed anymore. You got a roommate, trying to deal with making new friends. I think I was very nervous. I had a lot of anxiety just about what it was going to be like, what the team atmosphere was going to be like, just because some of the things that obviously you hear from college, a lot of that stuff was creeping in my mind. But I mean, I really feel like I made a solid adjustment. Came in and made some friends and played some decent golf at the beginning of the semester. It was a pretty seamless transition, honestly. Like, I mean, I came in, made the first tournament, played all 4 events in the fall, and college golf. I was telling my dad after our first tournament, we got to our first tournament in Eastern Kentucky,
You
and
balled out, by the way.
I
First
did.
tournament. Yeah.
First tournament at top 10, my first ever college tournament, which was pretty hype. But I was talking to my dad afterwards, just kind of recapping, and we were both just kind of like, I mean, this is nothing that we've never done before. It's the same thing, just competing against different guys. That was our mindset going into the rest of the year was that I've done this a million times. There's nothing different about what I'm doing. I'm just going out and hitting golf shots, competing. And there's no doubt about it that I can compete with these guys. There was never a point in time where I was like, oh shoot, I got to get a lot better to be able to compete with these guys.
And I guess that goes into the psychology side of saying, "Hey, I'm really just competing against the course." Now, what freaks people out is, hey, the guys that I'm playing against and with are a lot better than the guys that I played with in high school. And so that probably freaks out a bunch of people making that transition. It seems like for you, that wasn't as much of an issue. It seems like that wasn't really your mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to say go into a tournament and try and play the golf course, not play the opponent. I mean, obviously it's in the back of your mind that you're playing against guys that are older than you. You're playing against guys that have been doing this for 3, 4 years. But I mean, yeah, it was definitely a good spot for me to be able to ease into college golf.
How important was it for you? This obviously wasn't a part of your story necessarily. You felt a lot of peace about going to Samford, but it did work out in your favor with the fact that you could come in and immediately get reps. You were immediately in the lineup your freshman year. And I feel like that goes a long way in your development as a player. Obviously, that wasn't thought in your recruiting process, but do you feel like that's contributed to your success come sophomore year?
For sure. Last year I played every tournament but one, and I think that getting reps, and that's what I tell all my friends that are younger that are getting into golf
Wow.
and stuff like that. It's like, just get reps in. Compete as much as you can. You can play any tournament you want. Just compete, compete. For guys that are on the come up, go get your brains beat in by somebody that's 10 times better than you. I mean, it's gonna teach you how to compete, how to be better, and what your game is like. That was something that I learned early in my golf journey, just that really just helped me a ton.
Yeah.
Just getting those reps in and actually competing as much as
Huh.
possible.
Yeah, being fearless when it comes to that, being in the mix. This concept, I see this a lot with basketball players, and it works out in golf too. You may have this offer to go play at this dream school of yours, but if you go and you're not getting, and I think to define this, what we mean by reps is getting tournament reps. So like you being in the lineup and playing at that level, like if you're going to said school, and not to say you're not a good player or whatever, but if you can't crack the lineup, it is hard to continue to get better and to be in that space and get your brains beat in so that you can keep improving. And then you're also worried about being in the lineup in the first place, so it hinders you from being able to play freely and all
For
that stuff.
sure. For sure.
But it does take some humility. You talking to the younger guys who are trying to play, it takes some humility to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just go here because I know I'm going to play here instead of one that looks a little bit better on Instagram or
Yeah.
whatever, for sure.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
You talked a little bit about your home course was just down the road from Trussville in Birmingham. You were coming to Birmingham a decent bit. What is your home course? And then what are some courses that you guys play in Birmingham?
So my home course is actually our home course here at Samford. So I play at Greystone. They have a player development membership that I've been on for, I think, close to 3 years now. I get access to both courses, Legacy and Founders, both practice facilities. Yeah, that's where we play here at Samford too. That's our main spot is Greystone. But there's so much good golf in Birmingham. I mean, Birmingham is such good golf. We played Birmingham West last semester, and then last year we played Shoal 3 times, and then we also get out to Mountain Brook Club, which is probably my favorite. That place is so good. It's scoreable, but it can bite if you hit it in the wrong spots. But that place is one of my favorite. There's so much good golf in Birmingham though.
I know he's up in Vestavia a decent bit, but do you guys ever see Smiley out and about?
One of my best friends is a member at Lasavia, so he knows Smiley a little bit. And but no, we don't really see him that much. We saw Sub Strock out at Founders the other day though. He was out hitting balls
That's cool.
out at Founders. So he had this like Ryder Cup stand walking bag. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet bag he's got.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah, right.
That's sick. Okay, so you talk about, hey, freshman year, starting to feel comfortable, getting reps in, transitioning into the fall. I kind of laid out what your fall looked like. Made a jump, and maybe for you, it always felt like, hey, I was capable of this. I'm just playing up to my expectations at this point. But what do you think contributed to making a jump this fall?
I think last year being a freshman, I had a lot of maturing to do, and just being completely honest, I was a head case all my freshman year. I got in my own head. I got in my own way. I could have had such a better. I had a decent freshman year, but it could have been so much better just if I wouldn't have gotten my own way. And I think that after the season ended, we do our exit meetings with coach, and in mind, he sat me down and was like, all 4 of the seniors said the same thing and said that if you can get out of your own head and get out of your own way, that you have the potential to be really good. And I always heard that I have the potential to be really good, and like I just need to get out of my own head. But I don't know, something in that moment that really, really just struck a chord with me. It's like other people see it, like my peers are seeing it, and this is really just not what I want to do. But I mean, I would get so frustrated on the golf course with myself, and it was just not a healthy thing to do, and not a healthy way to play the game, and it was just hindering me so much that that would be the one thing that I would say that really helped me going into the summer for me to work on. And it was more than just a golf thing. It was a spiritual thing where it was like,
Wow.
man, I'm really just not honoring and stewarding well the things the Lord's given me. Like I'm taking these things for granted. He's given me this opportunity, this beautiful opportunity to come play the game that I love. He's blessed me with this gift to play the game, and I'm just not doing a good job stewarding his gift. And that definitely, it wrecked me for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, where I was just kind of like, wow, it hurt. It definitely stepped on my toes for sure.
The phrase, yeah, just get out of your head. Just like snap out of it. Like, dude, get out of your head. That seems a little like arbitrary. Now, obviously, like Lord was pressing it on your heart and convicting you of like, hey, I'm not stewarding this gift that he gave me well. But like, what about like specifically? Like, what is getting out of your head on the golf course?
I
What
think
does
that
that
for
look
me, it
like?
was just anger. I would get so angry with myself and just not being able to forget the last shot. Like I would hit a bad shot and just be thinking about it my next swing, and then hit a bad shot the next swing, and then just keep compounding mistakes. And I think that I was just so fed up with myself. And it was impossible for me to play good golf if I hit a bad shot. You can't play golf like that. You cannot play golf thinking about what you did on the last hole. And for me, that was just coming to a realization of like, it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not who I am. It's just what I do. And that was the biggest thing for me.
I heard it. This was an interview. This was probably 10 or 15 years ago, but Zach Johnson talking about how if he didn't have the spiritual component, he would literally crash out. He was like, I don't know how other people do it without the Lord mellowing them out. But he was alluding to a concept of being more process oriented instead of getting caught up in the results. Because if you get caught up in the rat race of, hey, I did this on the last hole, or I've done this in my last two tournaments. If I don't do this the next tournament, I may not have status, going into next year,
Yeah,
which the
right.
stakes are a lot higher at that point. But do you feel like any of that is true for you of becoming a little bit more like, hey, I'm just gonna do the work. I know that God is telling me to work heartily unto him. Do you feel like you fall more on that camp now, your sophomore year compared to your
Yeah,
freshman
for
year?
sure. I think for me, going back to like that freshman year, I would say I was a Christian. I was doing all the Christian things, reading my Bible. Off the golf course, you would think that like I'm a stand-up guy. I
Yeah.
would say like I'm doing all the right things, but then I would get on the golf course and just be a completely different person, to where it was like you do this here, but what are you doing there? What's the difference there? And that was what I really had to wrestle with for a long time, was just being the same person no matter what was going on around me.
Yeah, that tracks. And what we're not saying also, what you're not saying either is like, oh, like I just behave better on the golf course and then I'm gonna, have 4 top 10s in the fall. Like it doesn't really work like that either, but
Yeah.
maybe it's like one begets the other. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure.
that tracks.
I mean, it was pretty instantaneous for me, like, right after I stopped being a head case, stopped getting in my own way, I started playing some pretty dang good golf.
Dang, that's cool. That's cool. So like thinking about, well, actually, let's just do this. Can you recap some of your tournaments? So like obviously I listed off some of them, but like what were some of your favorite events? Obviously you
Yeah.
played well in most of them, but can you talk a little bit about the schedule you guys had this fall?
Yeah, I mean, I think going back to summer, I mean, I played really well this summer too. I played well at our state am, made the cut, and then had a chance going into the final round, just kind of didn't play my best final round. And then I played the Southern Am qualifier, and I was medalist there, 65, and qualified for the Southern Am, which that was a fun event, but that place was so hard. Blessings in Fayetteville, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that place was
Yeah.
so hard. But it definitely exposed me. Played well at the Spirit of America up in North Alabama at Burning Tree, got second there. And then, yeah, going into the fall, I was just riding a wave of good golf, just really feeling confident about my game, kind of knowing where I was at, hitting the ball really well, came in a first event, top 10, and then just kind of progressed throughout the whole season. I mean, culminating in the end at Panther National. Panther National, probably, that was the best event we played the fall, and not just because I played well, but that place was so sick. West Palm Beach is probably one of my favorite places that I've ever been. And then International, just to be, I mean, designed by JT, one of my favorites. So, but that place is so sick. That was definitely a highlight for this last year, for sure.
What about heading into the spring? Are there any tournaments that you're looking forward to playing in?
I think our conference tournament moved from Lake Oconee to Salina Golf Club, the Brian
Mm.
Bros course up in Columbia. I went to a CGF retreat, College Golf Fellowship
Yeah.
retreat there last December, and played 15 holes out there, and that course is pretty sweet. So I'm excited to go back there and actually play in competition.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then we're going to St. Simon's Island, playing Sea Palms, Western Carolina's event out there. So I'm excited for that one. That'll be fun too. I love St. Simon's.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Who hosted the College Golf Fellowship retreat out in Columbia?
It was Brian Bros at Wesleyan, George, and then Grant Horvath was there. So we stayed
Wow.
at Wesley Bryan's house. It was pretty sweet.
What were they
Pretty
like
good
meeting
gig.
them in person?
Wesley was our small group leader, and he's just so genuine. He's the same on and off camera. It's actually crazy. And then same with Grant and George. They were awesome. Grant is the nicest guy ever. It's so cool to just kind of. I mean, they're just guys. They're the same as us. They just love golf, and they happen to have millions of subscribers on YouTube.
I mean, honestly, they probably have less of a like stardom complex than maybe some of the guys on tour, just because
Yeah, for sure.
they are just normal
Yeah,
dudes. Like
right.
they
Exactly.
probably don't see themselves as,
Right.
but that's pretty special. You got to spend that time with
For
them.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you go there with any of your teammates?
Yeah, we had, I think 3 of us were there, so it was fun, and we got to be in a YouTube video, which is cool. So if you look, it's like College Golfer Knockout or something from last year. We're in the opening scene, and then we got bounced in the first round, all 3 of us, of the qualifying. But it was a good time.
Yeah, that's sick. That is so cool. Can you talk about what your winter looked like? Like, what does an off season look like for Gavin Isbell?
Not a lot of golf, that's for sure. After
Yeah.
October, after Panther National, I think it was actually kind of funny. I took 2.5 weeks off, didn't touch a club, and then went out and played. One of our teammates, his brother came in town, and we played Legacy, and went out and made 9 birdies and shot 65
Sure.
out at Legacy. It was at 8 birdies in a row. It was pretty crazy. After not touching a club for 2.5 weeks, pretty crazy. But yeah, didn't play a lot of golf.
Yeah.
Worked out a lot, just kind of keeping the body sharp, and then just kind of enjoyed my Christmas. Stayed with some family. Went to another CGF retreat up in Charlotte, Webb Simpson's house. That was so much fun. Another guy who's just a stand-up guy, just another guy that's just out there, just hanging out with us, playing pickleball. It was pretty cool. But yeah, and then got back to school, and now I guess you could technically still call us off season because we're not competing yet.
Sure.
But we'll
Sure.
go back to competing in 2 weeks, so we're back on the grind, practicing as much as possible. With this cold weather, it gets a little brutal out there on the course, but we're braving it as much as we can.
What's y'all's first tournament this spring?
Playing at Wexford over in
Okay.
Hilton Head. Francis Marion hosts. I played there last year and wasn't my best event, but looking forward to getting a little bit of revenge. Day 2 is actually on my birthday, so hopefully play a little bit better on my birthday this year than last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is changing topics pretty dramatically, but I think I saw this in your Instagram bio. There's a Gavin Isbell music account. So can you explain that? Like, first of all, what is
It's
that?
nothing really. I mean, I like to play guitar, so that's just kind of one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
I enjoy singing and playing guitar. I don't write any music yet. I kind of thought about it. I'm just not very like talented in that way, like coming up with lyrics and stuff. But I have a couple worship songs that I just kind of post on there and have like a little bit of a little blurb in the caption about like what it means to me and stuff like that. But I've always loved music. My family is big into music. My grandfather plays piano in his church, and then my grandmother sings in the choir, and my dad plays guitar. My dad's a left-handed guitar player, which is obscure, but he plays my guitar upside down. It's pretty cool. But my mom played guitar when she was younger, and then she can still play a little bit. And then my sister was in band in middle school and played piano and stuff. So we just love music. So just a hobby of mine, just to get my mind off golf sometimes.
Oh man, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Dudes Aplenty, if you're out there looking for vocalists next year in your show,
Wow.
he's
Taking the shot out. Taking the shot out.
Awesome.
Which one were they? I forgot which one were they?
They were the Fishermen. They were the last show. And
Yeah, I don't think I
kind of their
watched that
premise was, I don't know, it had something to do with catching fish. And
Yeah,
I don't know what the conflict was in their story. I can't really remember. They came second though.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Shout out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the college golf season is back. And it's the spring season, man. We're in the chase for the conference championship, NCAA regionals, national championship. Like, we are on the precipice of the college golf season. And so we're back with the Swing State Six Pack with sophomore from Samford University, Gavin Isbell, Trussville's finest. Gavin, you ready to get going?
Let's do it.
All right, Gavin. Favorite course you've ever played?
Course I've ever played, probably Panther National. Panther National was pretty sweet this fall, and I played well, so that helped for sure.
Favorite course you've never played?
It's hard to say anything but Augusta, right?
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah, okay.
What's another place that you'd actually be like, hey, like, I want to go check this place out?
I want to play somewhere northeast, like Wingfoot would be really cool. Oakmont, somewhere like an old US Open course, and then like somewhere maybe like in Ireland. So True Links Golf. That's on the bucket list is to play True Links Golf.
Backtracking to the New York kind of northeast golf courses, even this past Gosh, I was literally, I don't know if I can actually say this, but I was at work today looking at mid-am qualifying locations, and there's one up in Long Island, kind of outside of like where Shinnecock is. And
Okay, yeah,
I was like, Caroline, do you want to take a weekend trip up here? Like, do you want to go?
that would be
um,
sick.
oh, it'd be so cool. Yeah, the courses
Yeah,
up
that would
there are
be
so
sweet.
sweet. Yeah. Let's go question number 3. So, favorite course you've ever played, favorite course you've never played. Let's go dream foursome.
Dream foursome. Tiger, for sure. JT, he's my favorite golfer. And then, somebody cool. I need somebody cool that's not a golfer.
Okay.
Let's
Al Del
see. I'd
Greco.
probably go, that's one. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I'd probably go like Anthony Rizzo. I'm a big Cubs fan. So, or like Javi Baez. Yeah, we'll go Javi Baez. I like Javi
Yeah.
Baez.
Tapping into your baseball roots.
And me and my dad are big Cubs fans. My teammates make fun of me because I try and listen to a little bit of all the games during baseball season, so they give me a hard time because
That's
baseball's
awesome.
boring for everyone. But
Yeah.
I love it.
Either baseball's boring for everyone, or most people that you're around are Braves fans. So that is pretty
That's true. That is
controversial. Yeah.
true. Yeah. I'm not a Braves guy. Go Cubs, go.
Go Cubs, go. All right, question number 4. So dream foursome, and you've already teased this out, but we're going favorite player on tour right now.
Yeah, JT for sure.
JT. Second
And
favorite
then
player on tour right now. Yeah, go ahead.
probably hard to not say Scotty.
For sure.
He's a pretty cool guy.
For sure. All right, last 2 questions here. We'll go number 5. Favorite club in your bag right now.
I just got a new putter, so I'm rolling it nice right now. So I got a little Ping DS72 putter. I had a lab, and it was just kind of switching up the feel a little bit. So I'm liking the new putter, new flat sticks rolling nice right now. So I'll probably say that.
All right, question number 6. So Gavin, obviously you had a sick summer, sick fall. We're moving into the spring. Your next win. So next win, you're going out to celebrate. You're going out with the guys. Maybe you're in Homewood. Maybe you're in Birmingham. Where are you going to celebrate your next win? Are you going out to eat? Where are you going?
If we're going out to eat, we're probably going to this local burger spot, Whiskey Foxtrot, down here in Homewood. It's a little hole in the wall. I mean, there's like 4 tables in there, but it is unreal. It's so good. Greasy burger. Do not recommend if you're on a diet, but it's unreal. It's a great spot. They got the best sweet potato fries around. It's so good. That's our spot.
Whiskey Foxtrot. Is that in
Yeah.
Edgewood or is that in like downtown?
It's like downtown areas. It's right off of 31. If you're going like towards Birmingham from like Samford, turn off Lakeshore, go down 31 like you're going towards downtown Birmingham. It's right there on the left.
Okay. Yeah, dope. What are some other spots that y'all go out to? Like
We
in
go
Homewood?
to we could have. I mean, I'm sure you've heard this one, the Chipotle. We go to Chipotle a lot.
Never.
Chipotle's our go-to. Right. Yummy Bowl. Yummy Bowl is a good spot. It's like a little Mongolian stir fry here in Homewood. Give you a lot of food for not a lot of money, which is good for college students.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
Cookout always. We'll rip a little cookout shake every once in a while on the weekends. Maybe a little treat from cookout, and then we're about to get Cane's here in Birmingham, so I'm sure that we'll add that one to the list here soon. Cane's is about to open up here in Birmingham.
That's big time. I'm actually surprised that there's not a Cane's in Birmingham at this
I know
point.
it's a long time coming, but
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll do well here.
for sure. The talk of town in Memphis right now is the In-N-Out relocation to Nashville. And
Yeah.
so like we're very happy about potentially getting In-N-Out in
That would be
Memphis.
sweet. Yeah, we went to In-N-Out twice during our Houston trip last fall, so it's so good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the Swing State Six Pack, first one of the spring. Gavin Isbell, sophomore from Samford University. Gavin, dude, thank you so much for hopping on. It's been a treat.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Super excited. Glad we could do it.